Hi, it's Brendan with the Home Happy team. I'm here with Mike as well. Just wanted to have a chat with you guys. Obviously, there's some things happening out there in the world and some uncertainty. So just wanted to have a chat and give you some information. So, Mike, there's lots going on out there. What are you seeing? What do you want to say?
Yeah, we've been reading all sorts of weird news. I mean, last Friday, the new British government made some dramatic moves and thought they were going to help the economy there, and the market turned around and decided they weren't helping, and now the British pound has dropped. So that's not a good sign. Whenever markets see uncertainty, it's never a good thing. The U.S. Fed has come out and said they're going to have to be much more dramatic about increasing rates. So despite us seeing lower inflation numbers the last few times, and today there was a report that our GDP only grew 0.1, which is at the lowest it could be next to being in a recession. It's still very uncertain, and I think we're all having to get used to a new world. And it started a couple of years ago with the pandemic, and now we're learning that the economic side of it is not predictable either. And if anybody's telling you what's going to happen in the future with certainty, they're lying to you. And it's been proven by the Bank of Canada and the U.S. Secretary of Treasury. I mean, they all said inflation was no big deal, and here we are with massive inflation and no way to fight it. So going forward, I think uncertainty is the name of the game, and that's not a healthy, great way for us to be dealing with it. But it just is what it is. And I think as all of us are nervous, I don't think anybody's going to be saying they're great with what's going on. Nobody is. And I've watched a lot of different information, trying to get information, but at the end of the day, we just can't predict exactly what's going to happen. So the key is having a good plan and just trying to live with what's going on.
Totally. Touching on that, then obviously plan being extremely important.
Yeah.
What would you say is an important piece of the puzzle? What are some things that people can do to kind of set themselves up or put their mind at ease working through these times?
I think the number one thing is let's just calm down. I mean, we can't control what we can't control, and worrying about whether rates are going to keep going up or staying the same, you can do it for a while, but it's not going to fix anything. So let's look at the reality. We're all going to have to tighten our belts a little bit and look at budgeting and look at the money that we've been spending, because we know we're going to have to increase our spending on mortgage payments. So things like going out for dinner and all those things we kind of took for granted in the last couple of years or previously, we can't count on doing that as much. So I think those groceries are going to cost more. We're going to have to think about things a lot more. Budgeting is becoming more and more important. If you've never budgeted, which most people haven't, maybe it's something you got to try, regardless of how old you are. And I don't think there's any one answer to solving it. But if you were in a mortgage where you were making extra payments in the past, or paying a higher amount than you had to, that's really good, but it might be something you think about now for cash flow purposes. Maybe you talk to the lender or talk to us and we can help you with it, but move your payment back to where it actually the lowest it can be, because you don't want to pay it off fast right now. You just want to survive with cash flow. So that's one big one.
Yep.
Another one is we actually have the potential to redo some people's mortgages possibly and extend the amortization back out to 25 years if we have to, or whatever. I mean, it's just a discussion that we can have with you and review if that makes sense. Sometimes it won't make sense, but reviewing all your options is important. And I think, one big one is looking after your debts. I mean, if you have a bunch of other debts, now is the time to talk about it and see if it makes sense to put it all into one or not. And we have access to loans, we have access to mortgages, so we can review and see if it makes sense. Because the number one thing we want to make sure you've got is your cash flow working well. You're not nervous because you can't make that payment. That's when you lose your house. You don't lose your house if you make all your payments. So we want to make sure you're as low stress as possible. There's no magic answer whether to lock in or not. I mean, it's going to depend on your situation and how you feel and what it is going forward. But we just want you to know we're here. We have options, and we want to help you get through this the best way possible for you and your family.
Yep. I couldn't have said it better myself. That being said, if any of you do have any questions, or if we touched on something you've been thinking about, or you've been thinking about something that we didn't touch on, please reach out to us. We love shooting these videos to give you guys information. So the more questions you have for us, the better we can address it for you. Or we can have a one-on-one call and discuss kind of what's going on with your mortgage, your life, and how we can help you work through this as a team as well. So don't ever hesitate to give us a call, shoot us an email, shoot us a text, whatever works best for you. We're here, and that's what we're here for. So again, Mike, thanks for the info. Appreciate it. I'm sure they do too. Mike and Brendan with the Home Happy team. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.